the way they handle cops in general today. There's no union anymore. You're allowed to say and do anything you want to them. And it's not, I always feel, and I don't know if you agree with me or not, when I went to work as a cop, I never really feared that, oh, today I might get killed. Most of the stress that I took from the police department was always from within. I don't believe cops are no longer with us today and are dying by suicide because they fear the perp on the street. Most cops, most good cops, I would say all good cops, don't care about running after someone with a gun or rolling around with someone on the floor. What stresses us to the point where we can't take it anymore comes from within. They're changing my RDOs. They're changing my tours. They're transferring me to the 110 when I want it, when I'm perfectly comfortable staying where I am. They're mandatory overtime. I can't go home for 2 weeks. Little money, CCRB, an overzealous CCRB now who can go into your camera and look at the last 8 or 10 hours on patrol. And even though you don't have a complainant, they can look at footage and generate a complaint by saying you were discourteous or you did something that you shouldn't have. And now when you and I were on the job, CCRB didn't have that much power. They were almost ignored. I went down, I think, once or twice. And I remember you telling me a story where you were down there without me and some guy comes in and they're like, "Oh, Jimmy, how are you?" And they're hanging out, you know, that like he was there all the time. But now they have the power to fire you. They hate police. People who hate cops should not have that much power over them and have the ability to get them terminated. Eric Dim, I mentioned. Eric and John, they run the podcast. I'll put a link to it, the New York's Finest Retired and Unfiltered. If you have a chance, visit them. They're great guys. They know everything about NYPD. He had 8 sets of charges from our job, all generated from the CCRB. And eventually he was forced to retire because of that. We didn't live under that microscope. We thought we had stress, but we weren't followed. We didn't have iPhone cowboys.
Do something. Do something, nigga. That's the time it is. That's the time it is, nigga. I make them niggas pack your dumb ass up. I'm gonna make them pack you up, nigga. Watch it. Watch it. Pussy. That's right. That's right, nigga. Don't touch me, nigga. It's that time, nigga. It's that time, pussy. Let that white man get away. Let the white man walk out the door and they'll choke out one of yours. Huh? Oh, he ain't one of yours, right? He ain't one of yours, but that white man wasn't either. He wasn't blue.
Yo, he just followed orders, dog. That's all he does.
He wasn't blue, nigga. He wasn't blue. If you gonna do something for black people, at least get the killer, nigga. If you gonna do something for black people, get the killer, nigga. Get the killer. Yo, y'all let him walk in the door. Hey, you ain't mad, nigga. Hey, do you feel like an idiot with that shit on? Because the blood is still on your hands, pussy. Y'all let him walk out the door, pussy. Y'all let him walk out the door, nigga. Yeah.
You and I know that if we got assaulted, if we got our ass kicked at work, that perp would have wished he did not do that, right? Sure. And at the very least, if you had an injury, I'm not saying, I fell and I hurt, whatever. I'm saying, like, if you got a black eye, somebody broke your nose and you were a cop, you knew the DA was going to write that up. There was no question about it. Today, you got cops being shot at, and they're not even charging attempted murder. They're charging assault, aggravated assault.
Justice isn't blind anymore. I don't work for the the agencies in the city of New York that keep track of the amount of police officers. I heard, I could be wrong, I heard that the proper operating number for the New York City Police Department is around 43,000 uniformed members. I heard it's down to 29,000. You cannot police. I don't care who you are. You cannot say that New York City is the safest big city in the nation. It's bullshit. But people that watch CNN and people that just believe what they hear on TV without doing their own research, they believe it. It's a lie. You cannot lose 15,000 uniformed police officers and feel or think that you're properly policing the biggest city in the nation and doing it safely. You're not. You got guys that are working doubles. You got guys that are working ordered overtime. You got guys that they're tired. People that are paying attention, they're not taking this job anymore, Paul. When you and I got on the cops, and I have no problem that times change, but when you and I got on the cops, it was one test every 5 years. And everybody from Long Island, where I grew up, and everybody from upstate New York, 55, 65,000 young kids showed up on that one day every 5 years, and they took the cop test. Now it's a Monday through Friday walk-in test in Washington Street in New York City. You can go.
Nobody wants
Monday through Friday and take a test and somehow be hired in the academy in 8 months. Took me almost 3 years. I remember they sent investigators, New York City detectives, out to my neighborhood. I lived 40 miles from Manhattan. 40 miles. They sent 2 cops out to my neighborhood to talk to my neighbors. Does that happen anymore? I don't know. Through attrition, through quitting, through guys retiring early, or just walking away, can you still do that level of investigative work to hire one guy? No, you can't. You need a body to fill it. You need a body to fill a uniform now. You need a uniform to fill a car. That's where we are. That's where we are. These guys know they're not supported. These guys know that, like you said, the camera reels getting sent to CCRB, that the person who they're interacting with on the camera didn't have a problem with the way they were treated. But now some guy 4 weeks later with 5 hours to look at this video over and over and over and push rewind says, oh no, that's a problem. Call this guy in. Call this guy in. You have 29,000 cops when you need 43,000. Call this guy in for what? To tell him he's getting hooked up? To tell him he's getting suspended? Okay, fine. I'm out.
You know that they have to now give out business cards, right?
Business cards. And I see the video. I see this asshole. I don't know what his name is. He's one of these antagonistic bastards who goes around to all the cops, shines video cameras in their cop cars and walks around into the precincts and says, oh, it's a public area. I'm allowed to do this. These losers, these cop antagonists who hide under the guise, you're constitutionally protected. I get it. You're the first one to yell when a real constitutional protection is being violated. You're the first one to yell, it should have happened. That guy's no good. You don't the line between right and wrong is so blurred now, Paul. The line between good and bad is so blurred that people actually believe that bad behavior is good. People actually believe that sticking a camera in a cop car or walking around. No, I don't care who you are. A parking lot of a precinct is not a public area. It's a secure area. You don't belong there. Because we know, common sense tells us that if you're hanging around the cop car or you're hanging around the parking lot, you're up to no good. You can't tell me that you have no reason to be there, and whatever reason you are there, it's all good.
Dude, they go over and try to open the cops' doors. They check all the RMPs.
All right, guys, so before we go inside the 121st precinct here, let's take a look around at some of the vehicles funded by the taxpayers that are outside here.
Can I help you? Sir, can I help you?
Who are you, sir?
Anything with the cars? Why are you trying to check the cars if they're open?
Can I help you with anything, sir?
I'm asking you. Can I help you?
I don't know who you are.
I
don't know who you are, sir.
I just saw you touching the back door of that car. Why are you messing with this armpit?
Sir, I would like to know who you are. I don't know.
Lieutenant Conway.
Lieutenant Conway?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't need any help, Lieutenant.
Okay, thank you. You can't touch the cars, all right? You can film.
Why can't I touch the car?
Because I don't know if you're trying to break in and steal something. Okay.
Why would I break into a vehicle?
I don't know. People do it all the time.
Well, that's not my intention here.
But,
I'm just checking to make sure everything's okay.
Awesome. I appreciate your help.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah. Have a great day, Lieutenant. You take care. So this is the lieutenant's vehicle over here. You can see the lights right over here. Just taking a look at the vehicles. What's the big deal? There's nothing wrong with that, Lieutenant, is there? Just because I put my hand on the vehicle doesn't mean anything. I'm not trying to break into the vehicle. These vehicles belong to us, the people. I'm just making sure that they're okay, making sure that the doors are locked so no one else steals anything from them. Let's check this one out. We got to make sure right here that we're up to date on inspection.
I'm Lieutenant Chiasano.
Hey, Lieutenant, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
I was just speaking to another lieutenant.
So, I don't mind you guys, like you said, you hang out here, you gotta film, do what you want to do. The only thing I ask is just please don't yank on the door handles.
Oh, I was just making sure that they weren't open.
Just please, yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
If
just
you
checking.
do that for me, I appreciate it.
No, but I like to check on all the taxpayer vehicles, make sure that they're being properly secured,
Okay.
safety purposes and everything. Because as you can see there, Lieutenant, that vehicle, it looks like it's in service right here, but it has a huge crack in the windshield. Could be unsafe for someone to drive.
Okay.
Probably should be taking
Again,
care
like
of
I'm
that.
saying, I'm Lieutenant Chiasano. I'm just advising you, please stop pulling on the door handles.
Yeah, I'm just checking to make sure they're open. That's all. They're not
Would you
open.
like a contact card?
A contact card?
My contact card.
Then the cop gets out and says, "What are you doing here?" And all of a sudden, it's this big 22-minute YouTube video, and I'm reading the comments, and people are like, "Yeah, fuck that cop. Yeah, good job showing the bully
Yeah,
cop."
thank you for doing what you're doing. People are saying, thank you for doing what you're doing. This is great. We need people like you. I'm like, dude, number one, you need a life. And number two, you're like, I can't describe it any other way. They're troublemakers.
They're troublemakers. There's enough, and what they don't know, Paul, because they're unemployed. What they don't know because they're unemployable. What they don't know because they've never had anything in their life that they've had to show up for that meant anything. Is that these guys have enough on their plate. They have enough on their plate. Problems and issues and crime, even if you look to hide from it, they're going to find you once or twice or three times on an 8.5-hour tour. I don't need you sticking your camera in my face, making an issue where there is none. I'm doing a New Year's Eve detail. I'm doing the Israeli Day Parade detail. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? You're making a problem. The Constitution does not provide you the right to make a problem. It doesn't. But like you said, we watch these stupid videos, and I don't watch them anymore, but you read the comments, and the cop's a bad guy, and good job bringing light to the...
Yeah.
And Paul, 20 years ago, if you put that video on, you'd get 1,000 people saying, "I'll kick your ass." You get 1,000 people saying, "You're out of your mind." You get 1,000 people saying, "You're a troublemaker." 20 years later, he's a hero. He's a hero because he's breaking people's balls over nothing.
It's disgusting. Yes, exactly. And they're going out and looking. Like you said, they're going out and looking. I'm not saying if a cop stops you, you don't have a right to film it. But you're going up to these cops while they're on patrol, just on a foot post by themselves. You're getting up in their face.
Sure.
You're harassing. But those are laws that are broken, that they could be and they should be collared for.
Absolutely.
Excuse me. But there comes a time where the cop realizes,
he's going to
do
lose.
I want the headache? Do I want to get sued? Do I want to have to go to CCRB?
Yep.
Do I need to get a lawyer? Do I got to transfer in, or I'm about to get promoted, or I'm about to go to the fire department? Do I want something on my record? I could just ignore it and hopefully it'll go away. But they follow these cops and harass them.
You got a partner, yeah. That's sexy. I like the fact that you got a partner. You 60 credit bitch, you're dirty. 2354 for this dirty motherfucker. Get the fuck out the fucking hood, bitch. And take you with you. Even the people don't want to see you here, bitch. Get the fuck out. Move! You can eat red lights, right? You can eat red lights? Eat this bitch right now. Hey, eat this red light right now, asshole. Woman beater. You're quick to get home, right? When you're done with your officer right next to you, you're quick to go home and beat your wife. You piece of shit. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Hey,
I'm 55. I'm too old. You're not changing my mind. You're not changing my attitude. I have enough friends. I don't need any more friends. I don't need popularity. I'm not looking for clicks. I support cops. If you don't, then that's your business, but stay the fuck away from me. Because you probably couldn't beat yourself out of a wet paper bag. You'd be the first one to call 911 screaming like a bitch if somebody approached you without a mask on in Lowe's. I know who you are. I know who you are. I know what you're about. Leave me alone.